The one-day hormone check profile. This presentation provides you with basic information as it relates to the results of your one-day hormone check or hormone evaluation profile. Here are your objectives, outlining what you can expect to learn. First, we must define key terms and review anatomy and physiology. So when we discuss the features of the profile, you will have an understanding where and how we make hormones. Lastly, we will review common patterns and the components of the one-day hormone check profile. But as it relates to your specific findings and treatment, please speak with your primary care physician and do not attempt to self-treat. The basics of anatomy, structure and organs, and physiology, which is the function of these organs, as it relates to the one-day hormone check profile. The endocrine system makes hormones, sends them, and regulates the release of hormones. There are many parts of the endocrine system, but it all starts with the hypothalamus, a portion of the brain. It sends a signal to your pituitary, which then sends out another signal that the target glands or organs receive, and an action follows. For the one-day hormone check, we will focus on the release of FSH, or follicular stimulating hormone, and LH, also called luteinizing hormone, which sends a signal to your ovaries, uterus in women to produce estrogen and progesterone. Now, estrogen is what gives women their signature breasts, hips, and lips, while progesterone is the balancing hormone and prepares women for pregnancy. In males, the signal from the pituitary is sent to the prostate or testes, which leads to the production of testosterone. Testosterone gives males certain characteristics like muscles, a deeper voice, plus facial and body hair. Interestingly, even though females do not have prostate or testes, they still produce testosterone. And likewise, although males do not have ovaries or uterus, they can still produce estrogen and progesterone from other tissues in the body, like fat and your adrenal glands. Well, this brings us to the other aspect of the one-day hormone check, which are your adrenal glands that can make hormones, but also cortisol. And cortisol is considered to be our stress hormone. Cortisol is an important hormone that affects almost every organ and tissue in your body. It plays many important roles, including regulating your body's stress response, controls your body's use of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, or your macronutrients, suppresses or calms inflammation, regulates your blood pressure, balances your sugar levels in your body, and controls your sleep-wake cycle. Another hormone also secreted by the adrenals is DHEA. It is considered an adrenal androgen hormone, meaning that it is produced in higher amounts in men versus women. Because it is secreted from the adrenals, just like cortisol, it oftentimes is linked with stress. DHEA has many functions, including making other sex hormones like testosterone and estrogen, keeping our bones strong and healthy, sleep, maintaining healthy weight, and brain plus mood health. As your cortisol production helps with the sleep-wake cycle, so does another hormone called melatonin. It is produced by the pineal gland in your brain. Melatonin, which is also called our sleep hormone, is suppressed by natural light, and it increases with darkness, regulating that sleep-wake cycle. Now that we have a good foundation as it relates to the endocrine system, let's review the features and components of the one-day hormone check profile and look at common patterns we may see on the profile. The first page of the report is the therapeutic cohort results. This was created looking at a group of menopausal and women transitioning into menopause, ages 37 through 62, who were treated with biological hormones. If you are on biological hormones, not birth control, also known as bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, you can compare your values on the left with this therapeutic cohort group to see if you have higher or lower amounts of that hormone. To see if your hormones are elevated, normal, or lower than healthy individuals, you first must identify which reference range you should be comparing your measured values to. Males produce E2 or estradiol and estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone. If the levels are elevated, it indicates that you are producing more hormone compared to other healthy males, and if your levels are low, then you are producing less hormones than a unhealthy male. For menopausal females, you compare your measured levels to the healthy menopausal cohort. If you are a cycling female or still experiencing menstrual cycles, you compare your testosterone to pre-menopausal women, but your estradiol and your progesterone and the progesterone to estradiol ratio depends on where in your menstrual cycle you took the saliva collection. The menstrual cycle, approximately 28 days, is divided into two phases. The follicular phase prepares an egg for ovulation, which is the first day of bleed or menses to day number 14. And the second phase is called luteal phase, where your body prepares for pregnancy in case there is a fertilized egg, which is days 15 to 28. So make sure you refer to your collection day to see if you should look at the follicular or luteal reference ranges. With the exception, if you collected days 11 and 12 during the estrogen peak, please refer to the peak reference range. And for progesterone, it peaks days 18 to 20. So if you collected during those days, then you refer to the progesterone peak. Your hormones may be imbalanced due to several reasons, including aging, trouble with clearing or detoxing hormones, and environmental exposures of chemicals disrupting your hormones. Here's a list of hormone imbalance symptoms: infertility, erectile dysfunction in males, reduced sex drive, low muscle mass, trouble focusing, fatigue, depression, anxiety, hair loss or increased hair growth, vaginal dryness in females, weight gain, and irregular menstrual cycles also in females. To support healthy hormone balance, here are a few considerations. For your diet, fiber helps you to feel full, it supports your gut microorganisms, and it improves how your body clears hormones. Healthy fats found in nuts and seeds, but also fatty fish and avocados, can help your body respond well to sugar we eat from our diet, which can cause our hormones to become imbalanced, and balance your stress hormone cortisol from your adrenal glands. In fact, you may also want to consider reducing sugars in your diet, not only for hormone balance, but for optimizing weight, and sugar can disrupt our gut microorganisms needed for health. Your body makes hormones from cholesterol, but also amino acids. And amino acids, you will get it from protein, and it also helps to control appetite, so you do not overeat, helping to maintain healthy weight. Examples are chicken, lentils, or fish. Weight gain is associated with hormonal imbalance, so maintaining a healthy weight is strongly related to hormonal balance. For gut health, your gut contains trillions of microorganisms that can impact health. One of the many roles is reducing your appetite and helping you to process glucose or sugar from your diet more efficiently. Sleep can help reduce your stress hormone cortisol, and poor sleep is linked to hormonal imbalances. For lifestyle, reduce hormone-disrupting chemicals like plastic bottles and food containers. Eat organic meat plus fruits and vegetables. Many of our beauty products are sources of hormone-disrupting chemicals, so we want to switch out these products. I use the ewg.org website as a resource to find better products for my health. Reduce pesticide exposure and don't use those non-stick cookware. Minimize heavy metals like mercury and arsenic that are found in seafood items like swordfish and tuna. Exercise. Balance cardio aerobic workouts like running with resistance and strength training using weights. This will help to promote better estrogen and progesterone balance and increase your testosterone. Stress reduction. Cortisol is your body's main stress hormone, apart from the endocrine system, and it can increase weight gain and hormone imbalance. The last portion of the one-day hormone check profile measures your cortisol production, and we will dive deeper into this concept in a moment. If you have either high or low levels of a particular hormone, please consult with your healthcare practitioner to create a plan to achieve hormonal balance specific to you. But depending on how high or low a hormone is, further testing may be required. Melatonin is secreted from the pineal gland in your brain, and it helps to control the sleep-wake cycle and other functions, such as impacts the release of sex hormones like estrogen and testosterone, decreases the level of cortisol. It's a strong antioxidant that helps to counterbalance free radicals, which can lead to cell or tissue damage, and it helps to improve mood and sleep. High melatonin can often be due to marijuana or CBD usage, antidepressant medications, and taking certain amino acids and supplements. Patients may experience mood changes based on weather seasons, low blood pressure, menstrual cycle abnormalities, and altered estrogen and progesterone balance. Low levels of melatonin can be due to certain heart or pain medications, alcohol, caffeine, and sleep aids. Patients may experience trouble sleeping, anxiety, decreased immune system strength to combat diseases and illness, and an altered estrogen and progesterone balance. To balance melatonin if high, natural sunlight will decrease melatonin in the morning and afternoon. Support detoxification or clearance of melatonin with diet and lifestyle. Fish oil or omega-3 fatty acids. Avoid caffeine and alcohol, and eat a diet that is balanced in carbohydrates and proteins. If melatonin is low, reduce stress, practice good sleep hygiene or going to bed in time, keeping your environment cool, reducing EMF from electronic devices, and consider taking melatonin at the counsel of your healthcare provider. The adrenal cortex stress profile, or the last portion of the one-day hormone check, you see the cortisol circadian curve on the left. At the bottom of the page, we can see the times that each sample was taken, reported by you, and the reference range. This range is where we expect your cortisol values to fall within. It is comparing you to a healthy group of individuals. Again, cortisol is considered to be your stress hormone. A problem arises when untreated stress persists. The signal to secrete cortisol becomes dysregulated and impacts the body in many ways. We can sometimes experience symptoms such as fatigue, sleep issues, weight gain, depression, GI complaints, and chronic pain. Dysfunction is also associated with many conditions, including high blood pressure, heart disease, gastrointestinal and immune dysfunction, diabetes and metabolic syndrome, depression, chronic fatigue, persistent pain, nervous system and/or memory issues or foggy thinking. The right-hand side of the page is DHEA measurement. Ideally, we like to see this fall within the green area of the color-coded reference range, and below that is the ratio of DHEA to cortisol, which we will discuss a little later on. Here is a pattern of low cortisol production. This happens after your cells become numb to cortisol, and your ability to secrete this hormone begins to decline. An example is post-traumatic stress disorder, we often associate with veterans because of war trauma. They are always on constant alert, and loud noises, for example, causes reactions that seem unproportioned to the event. This constant state of being alert eventually leads to persistent fatigue and mood changes. In addition, it is associated with heart disease, immune dysfunction, memory issues, and other chronic problems. Here is a high cortisol pattern caused by acute stress or a perceived challenge. Stress is more than just being stuck in traffic or a work disagreement. Acute stress can come from exercise, low blood sugar, receiving bad news, pain, toxic exposures, or a stressful event. The stress causes your hypothalamus and pituitary to signal your adrenals to produce more cortisol, or your stress hormone, generating a fight or flight response so you can respond to the stressor appropriately. This is normal and an expected response. However, when your acute stress is prolonged because it is untreated, it becomes chronic stress. Your body's still secreting high amounts of cortisol, but your cells begin to get numb or deaf to these messages. This can result in fatigue, poor immune health, and depression, to name a few. Figuring the reason for stress and resolving it is the ultimate goal to help renormalize your cortisol production. Sometimes the source of stress is not obvious, and your healthcare practitioner will need to run additional testing to help identify the cause. DHEA is an adrenal anabolic hormone produced by the adrenals in higher amounts in men compared to women. With low DHEA, it can be due to aging, stress, or a low-calorie diet. We may experience mood changes, decreased muscle and bone mass, pain, lower sex drive, dry skin, poor memory, or problems with weight loss. High DHEA can be due to stress, PCOS or polycystic ovary syndrome seen in women, and other health conditions. With an elevation or low levels, you should consult with your healthcare practitioner for further testing or evaluation. The DHEA cortisol ratio compares DHEA, which is anabolic or it builds tissues, to cortisol, which is catabolic or breaks down tissues. High ratio means that you are dominant in DHEA compared to cortisol, while the low ratio, what we typically see, means that you are dominant in cortisol compared to DHEA. You may be wondering what to do if you're showing signs of cortisol production dysfunction. Here are a few nutrients to consider to support your adrenals. Your adrenal glands are rich in vitamin C, which is used to produce all the adrenal hormones, including cortisol. B vitamins converts food into energy in your body. When you are under acute or chronic stress, you have to work overtime to make energy, and you use up your B vitamins quickly. By using B vitamins, you can help to make sure you have enough of this nutrient to keep making energy, especially B5, which can also be used to make cortisol. Magnesium is also needed for energy production and used up quickly with acute or chronic adrenal stress, just like the B vitamins. In addition, magnesium has calming effects on the nervous system and can help you relax. Fish oil, or your omega-3 fatty acids, helps you to respond to mental stress in a healthy way because it supports healthy communication between your cells in your body. Other adrenal support measures include yoga or meditation, getting high-quality sleep every night, decreased use of electronics, limit caffeine, eat balanced and healthy meals daily, limit stress and stressful thinking patterns, exercise regularly, maintain healthy relationships, some of actually which overlaps with how you balance your hormones. Again, thank you.